Guys, and welcome to yet another tutorial of React.js on this YouTube channel CodeMint. In this tutorial, we are going to see how the views are rendered in your React application. So as we have already discussed about how to create the application and what are the significance of each and every file. So if you have directly jumped on this tutorial, so you can follow the playlist and the last tutorial which is already mentioned there. So let's start with the this command npm start. So once you enter this command, your application will get started. And as we already discussed in the package JSON, once you enter the npm start, so internally it calls this command and the compilation starts. So it gets started, and after that, your uh, so it will automatically open the browser on this default port, that is localhost 3000. So this is the main front page which will be rendered on your application. So we will see how the views are rendered on this. So as we already know, React.js is basically a single page application, and this is the only HTML file which is present inside your application. And apart from this, there is no other HTML file. That's why it's a single page, and all the views which you see, so those will be rendered from the src folder from all the components that we are going to create. So if you see, index.html has HTML5 features like doc type and then meta tags. A few meta tags are also mentioned there, and then there is a link, and so some information about manifest JSON and everything is mentioned. So after that, there is a title, and this title will be seen here, and then there is a body section. And if you disable the JavaScript, so no script message will appear on your browser. And inside body, we do have a div, and that div has an ID which is root. So basically everything, so this view, everything is rendered inside this div tag. And after that, like, there is some information about HTML and all that. So usually it's of no use, means it's of not so importance. So after that, you can directly jump into the src folder, and inside src folder, the first file which gets compiled is the index.js. So this is the first file, that's why the name is given as index.js. So inside index.js, if you see, this is the first import React from React. So basically this, so if you press the control key and then over the cursor on this, so you will see it is coming from the node modules, and this is the actual React library which is added to your application through index.js. And after that, React and React DOM, these two libraries are required. And then index CSS, that's for styling, and this is for app. So actually we have imported the instance of app.js file as app here, and then report web vital. So this is for the analytics purpose, so it's of no use, so you can remove it. And after that, we do have uh, sorry, what's the is not defined. Okay, so it's already used somewhere. Okay, it's used here, so that's why we can comment it out and then again save it. Okay, so now it's running properly. So after that, we do have a constant which is root, and that is defined here. And root dot render is the function, and inside this function we do have rendered these two selectors of the components. So before that, const root is a constant basically, and so the main use of, like, the main purpose of this is React DOM has a create root method. So inside this, we are mapping the div from the root, like we are mapping the div with id root, and this is normal JavaScript. So basically document.get element by id root. So if you see on the index.html, we do have this div with id root, and so this mapped here, this div is mapped here with the React DOM and then creating root. So so whatever the root is basically a root component, and that root component is mapped to that div. and here it React DOM is creating a root component. So inside root component, we are basically we are rendering. So this is a root dot render method is there, and the views will be rendered inside this root component, we can say. So basically we are using React strict mode. So even you can comment it out if you don't want to use it. So we'll see what is the significance of it on later instance after some time. And even after you comment it out, the application is still running. And then we do have this app. So basically app selector is if you press control and then click on it, so you will go to the app.js file, and inside app.js we so this is a functional component, and this functional component is returning a div. So basically it is returning a view. So view is inside it. So view is basically a div. So it is returning this division of complete elements. So this is an app component. This is a functional component, and it is returning this div elements or DOM elements are there. So these DOM elements are basically this is a JSX format. So JSX is basically this is a JSX format. So that's the JavaScript extendables and the JavaScript extendables or extensives, something like that. So that's basically JavaScript XML, sorry, XML tags are there. So that's the JavaScript XML. Basically, if you already might have seen, we use JavaScript inside HTML tags, but this is the first time where HTML tags or div tags are used inside the JavaScript code. So that's a different format. And so basically this functional component is returning div elements. And if you see the header tag is there, then image is there. So if you comment it out, so your image which was rotating would get eliminated. And after that, if you make any changes here, instead of this, if I write as hello world, so this view will be rendered again as a hello world. So line by line, you can play around it and make some changes. Okay, like this. So these are the main files, and as we know, app.test.js is basically used for testing purpose. Index CSS is all the CSS which are required for this DOM for index.js, and everything is mentioned. So already we have discussed those things. All right, so this is it for now. We will see how to create a new component in next tutorial. So if you like it, so please make sure you like the video and share into your circle, and also don't forget to put your comments and your feedback to this tutorial. Yeah, thank you so much. Keep watching, keep learning, and that's it. Thank you.